I did Intimidator first. It's a very good B&M hyper. Boy, definitely didn't have this long of a line when I went on it. Probably, I did it right at the start. I got 3 rides in on it. It's really smooth, really good hyper, no rattle. I think it might even be a better ride as far as the smoothness and sensation goes than Apollo's Chariot, but Apollo's Chariot's used to the terrain. I might actually prefer that. Plus, Apollo's Chariot has a couple of surprise ejector moments on it. And then I did I think this is Nighthawk, whichever hawk this is. It's a Flying Dutchman, just like at Kings Island, the hawk that's there. It was a good one. I'd say I like the one at Kings Island better, but this was still good. I like how it goes over the water and turns you over on your belly after the drop. So yeah, got no complaints about the 2 Flying Dutchmen that I've done. However, my third coaster was this thing. Just like the Flying Ace aerial chase at Kings Island, except this one is called Kitty Hawk. And yeah, it's a little bit of a headbanger. It's not a hard headbanging because it doesn't go real fast, but yeah, it jerks you and taps your head against the bricks that are next to your head. So yeah, I'm not a fan of these, but yeah, it's one and done. This one I'd be willing to do again. Yeah, the one complaint I would have about the Nighthawk and Kitty Hawk is that they're only running 1 train, so operations are very, very slow. The line wasn't too long, but it took forever to get through it on both rides. And it's looking like a pretty busy day here for a weekday at least. I just did Afterburn, coaster number 155. It was a good ride. I say it's definitely not in the league of Montu. For some people have said this is better than Montu, and I'm like, no, definitely not. But still pretty good. Not as good as Banshee either, but it's better than Alpengeist. I'd say it's an upgrade. It's an upgraded version of Batman the Ride. Taller, faster. Has some good intensity to it. I think there were 6 inversions. 5 or 6, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, you definitely felt the intensity on it, it was really good. The track was real smooth, some light headbanging along the way, but nothing too bad. So there's no doubt Montu was certainly far better. There's some cool near-miss elements on there too. But right here, I thought that was the mid-course. I thought that was the mid-course break, but it was actually the end. The Flying Cobras, a Vekoma boomerang. By far and away the best boomerang I've ever been on. No doubt about it. It has the vest restraints, so you don't get any headbanging at all. Operations are slow here too. Everything seems to be running. Well, this has to run 1 train, but even the ones that don't have to run 1 train, like Afterburn, it was only running 1 train. Don't know why everything's only doing 1 train, but because it's just a very busy day today. So a short line takes a long time. But yeah, it's a very forceful ride. So yeah, more forceful than most boomerangs. It even kind of disoriented me a bit. And like I said, no headbanging, which just makes it so much better. Vortex at Carowinds, the stand-up coaster. I got to ride in the front row. The so-called seat, the little thing that you straddle, which again, why? But yeah, that thing doesn't seem to want to come down. You have to really work at it to get it to come down. But it's not too fast, it's not too overly forceful. And when you can see what's coming, you can anticipate the head banging, which there was a little bit, but I have experienced much worse. At Cedar Point, Rougarou has worse head banging than this. At Raptor certainly does. But still not comfortable. But I might be willing to ride it again. Because it wasn't awful. It was better than this mine train. Yeah, I thought it was wooden from the looks of the map, and seeing the wood framing. But yeah, it's a mine train. It's a steel track wood frame, so it's a hybrid. Alright, coaster number 159 was Twisted Timbers. Oh, I mean Hurler. I can tell how this ride follows the exact same path as Twisted Timbers does. So I'm guessing they were probably clones, or close to it at least, because this would be the barrel roll drop, and then it went on the crazy overbank here. Then there's 3 airtime hills on the backside. Of course, with this you don't get much airtime on it. Then it just does the turnaround instead of the cutback inversion weird kind of thing that it does on the outer part. No trick track double up, of course, just a couple of small airtime hills that again get no airtime. No outer bank turn here, no third inversion, no bunny hill airtime pops at the end here. It was a little shaky, but not bad really. I actually didn't mind it at all. It just didn't do much. But yeah, the station is exactly the same as Twisted Timbers. The route of the queue line is a little bit shorter here. They probably just extended it for Twisted Timbers, expecting longer lines, of course. Yeah, coaster number 159. 160. Fury. It's time. Alright, finally done Fury. Did the front row, back row, and in the middle. This is definitely very intense. It's got great airtime on it. Easily the most, probably the most intense B&M I've ever ridden. And you really feel that speed, and it travels a long way. It goes like way out there. Comes all the way back. It's a long ride, no mid-course brake run. So I love that. There is one hill that's a little bit trimmed, but you barely feel it. And it's a warm day, so it's running fast. Or at least I would assume it is because it's a hot day. And this is the Carolina Cyclone. This is their aero looper. I've actually really enjoyed all the aero loopers I've done on this trip. And this one, kind of taking after Cedar Point, doing the corkscrews over the walkway. This is right by the Hurler and Fury 325. The last 2 rides I've got on this, the rattle was unbearable. I couldn't even enjoy the airtime because the airtime is when you don't have a rattle, but I couldn't enjoy it because I was fearing the next rattle. So, I don't know. I'm not so sure about this one. That's what I was afraid of too. These B&Ms, that some B&Ms get a really bad rattle to them, and this one definitely seems to have it. And I was afraid of that, but 325 footer, 95 miles an hour. It's like, what kind of rattle is that going to have? And yeah, it can be real bad. Or it might not have any. I guess it just depends on the day, depends on the time of day, the seat. Who knows? Well, I've had mixed rides today. A couple of them were really bad, actually. They were very rattly. It does have a B&M rattle, but if you... The last 3 rides towards the end of the night here, I leaned forward, leaned my upper body forward, and that kind of took care of the rattle. I wasn't feeling the rattle in my upper back and my head, because those couple of rides there, it gave me a bad headache. But yeah, when I leaned forward, I didn't have that headache, didn't feel the rattle as much, and boy, this is an amazing ride when you don't have to feel that rattle. I feel to be the best coaster in the world, you shouldn't have to do something like that to get a good ride out of it. I'm willing to do that to get a good ride. I do that for Beast, do that for Grizzly, but I don't consider those the best in the world. But they are very good, and this one is definitely very, very good. Well, rain cut this day short, but I got several rides in, got 11 rides in on Fury, 7 on Intimidator, so can't complain about that. And even 4 on Afterburn, which started becoming a bit of a headbanger. So yeah, this park is all about Fury and Intimidator. And really, that's kind of enough. There's a few other coasters that are enjoyable to get a ride or 2 in, but these are the 2. The marathon. I held out for last ride of the night on Fury. There were 6 of us in line, so 4 of us got front row. What's that?
Vlogging?
Yeah.
Let me say hey. What's up, vlog?
Hi.
What's your YouTube?
A straight edge skater.